Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Stephen A. Williams, president and founder of the creditrepairshop.com. And in today's video, we're going to talk about getting your debt forgiven with a 1099-C hardship consideration, financial hardship consideration, financial and medical hardship consideration. This is possible. I released a program a few days ago. But I'm not even, let's not talk about buying a program. Let's talk about how this works, how it can work for you. But also I want to start out, I want to start out with a story, something that happened to me, and I think that this will help you. And for you that are my subscribers that understand my way of doing things, that you're going to really appreciate me telling this story. I went on a trip over the last few days, just a short trip, and you know, up in our area in Wisconsin, we got hit with the snow. And when my wife and I got home, we could not make it up our driveway. So, and we were in our Jeep, and it would not make it up. It was more than 2 feet of snow. Now, you might be thinking, okay, well, Steve, then just walk up, get in, get your snow equipment to start moving stuff. Well, I started walking up my driveway, and luckily I brought my coat because it was below zero. Luckily, I had brought my coat and had put it in the Jeep. I was like, I'd rather have it just in case. But I was in my tennis shoes. I did not put my boots in the Jeep. And so I'm walking up the driveway in more than 2 feet of snow in tennis shoes, but I did have my coat. And I had a sweatshirt on underneath, so I was able to cover my head up. Now, imagine this. My driveway is more than a football field and a half long. So if you go and you look at a football field, and then you add another half of a football field, that's how far I had to walk. My lungs were burning. All I could think about was getting to my house, to get into it so I can warm up, because I felt like I was going to pass out. Just imagine walking in 2 feet of snow for a football field and a half. And there was no other way. It was too deep. Nothing could make it through it. But the whole time when I was making that walk, I was only concentrated on getting to my house. And so it was like, if you don't make it there, you're going to have to either turn around so you could go warm up in the Jeep, or you got to get there because you and your wife got to get into the house. Like, what are you going to do? You got to get into the house. And so I made it up there, got inside, warmed up. We did what we had to do to get to get our snow equipment to, plow the driveway. Which it was, is a long story on how we had to get that done, because we had to get help, because we just didn't make good decisions when we left, knowing that it was going to be a storm. Our UTV was in the barn, and we couldn't even get that out. So we ended up having to get help just to even plow, to even be able to get up to the house. Now, the reason why I tell that story is I tell that story about focus. Because while I was walking in that snow, I only had one thing on my mind, which was to get up to the house. I knew my wife was okay because she was in the Jeep, warm. I had to get up to the house, and my lungs were burned. They were on fire. But I was focused on getting up to the house. And the reason why I tell that story is because when I get letters, when I get emails, when I get comments about people wanting to get help, and they're focused on what is happening to them, that the debt either debt collector, getting sued, or can't get anywhere in their life because of their credit, they're focused on that right there. And it's easy for us to focus when we're under a lot of pressure, but the thing that we focus on is the thing that is making us be under pressure. So if you have too much debt, debt collectors are tearing you apart, or you just can't move forward because you got too many bills, you're struggling, paycheck to paycheck, or you're being sued. We tend to focus on what is happening, and we don't focus on the solution to stop what is happening or to minimize what is happening. And when I look at stuff, I think that it's for two reasons. One reason is people, when they look at solutions, they're looking at it in two ways. I'm already losing over here, or potentially losing, and then if I get a solution, is that going to work? And so if I give somebody my money for a solution, or if I spend time to figure out a solution, is it going to work? And so that right there is the problem. Like I said, when I was walking up to my house, a football field and a half in 2 feet of snow, I only had one thing focused on my mind, which was to get to my house. When people look at getting out of debt, when people look at repairing their credit, when people look at different options, such which what I'm going to talk about with a 1099-C hardship consideration, is that soon as people understand that there is an option, they start focusing on the wrong thing. And I don't want you focusing on the wrong thing. This could happen in a snap. What people start to focus on, what you might be focusing on, is you start to focus on the doubts of things not working for you. In my hand, I have a letter that someone wrote me, and I'm not going to say their name. I don't know if they want me to say their name, but they wrote me a letter, and it took 2 envelopes. 2 envelopes. And this letter is 1, 2, 3. This person wrote me a 5-page letter. This person, at the time, I gave them information about how to speak to their creditors about a hardship consideration, about, if you're truly struggling financially, if you're truly struggling with a medical you have a medical situation, creditors have a responsibility to listen to what you have to say about that. But here's the issue. There's two things that come about when what I see with this is, first is how to get to the right people that even will listen, because people will call up companies and they'll say this stuff either doesn't exist, or you can't get to the right person. Maybe you know that it exists, but you can't get your information to the right person. And there's a reason behind that, because companies don't want people just asking them like their children, hey, I can't pay this debt, or do me this favor. They're not in the business of doing that. But they are required to listen to this. And they're going to make it tough for people to listen to be able to get to the right department to listen to it. And now the other part is that people just doubt themselves. Like, when opportunities present themselves, and I'll include myself in this with stuff, when you don't know something and you hear something that is presented to you and you know nothing about it, you don't really listen or look at that what is being presented to you in a way that you think you do listen and look at it. This is the way you look, listen, and look at it. So if I tell you that you could potentially have some or all of your debt discharged by presenting a financial and medical hardship, or even a financial hardship, to your creditors for your debt that has been charged off, that is either still with an original creditor or with a debt collector, and you present it to them in the right way, some or all of your debt could be either discharged, or you could be presented with an opportunity to settle your debt at an amount that you probably would not even imagine was possible. That you were, when you hear me say that to you, this is what's happening in your mind, because you probably do not think that this is possible. And you've seen other stuff that other people have said, and that stuff is not possible because they're not truly in the business of this. They're in the business of making people watch YouTube videos. They don't deal with people like this that will send you a letter, 5 pages, thanking you for the information that you made them aware of. But when you get this, when you hear this, this is how you're intaking it. You're not just listening to what I say. You're not just visualizing what I tell you to visualize. What you're doing is you're intaking that because you know nothing about it. You know nothing about it. So what you're going to do, and this is what we do with things that we know nothing about, is that it comes into our mind, and then we're going to start going through this process, and it's like a millisecond. Everything that you know in your life, every experience that you had in your life, it is going through you like a computer, and it is trying to attach to something that Steve is saying. If he says that you can do a 1099-C to forgive my debt, it is going into your mind and trying to figure out, how can this work? It does not make sense. That is what's going through your mind. That's what goes through your mind with anything that you don't know. And this is how that is translated. It's translated into doubt. It's translated into doubt. So then it's like, you have to prove to me that it can work. And then when someone proves to you that it can work, then you start to doubt because you say, can it work for me? Will it work for me? And what I'm telling you, and that's the reason why I said that story at the beginning, is that you need to focus on what you want. When you don't know something about something, and either if you pay to learn how to do it, or you go out there and figure out how to do it, you still have to focus on what you want. Because if you don't focus on what you want, you're going to get what you focused on, and you subconsciously focus on stuff failing. Because you have no other sense inside of you with something that you don't know. If you've never experienced success with something that you don't know that is being presented to you, you have no other option inside of you. If you're looking at experience, if you're looking at something that you can attach to, because you won't feel comfortable until you find something inside of you that will allow you to say, okay, I can move forward because I have a little piece of something that I can hold on to. But if you can't find that piece, even if you try to move forward, you move forward with the wrong mindset. If you move forward, most people won't even move forward because the doubts will overcome them, and they will say, nothing good is going to happen for me. With this letter that I got here, 5-page letter, and I'm just reading it this letter is so good. This letter makes me feel so good about what I do that I took it home. I read it yesterday, took it home, read some more. I'm reading lines over again. Like the introduction was so good, I read it over and over again. Like the person could have just put the introduction of the first few paragraphs and it would have been like, I'm good. I know I get validation that the work that I do for people is good. Also wrapped up in this letter was cash. So a person who was struggling financially used the information that I talk about for hardship. No fluff, no BS, real deal stuff, because we deal with companies with this every day. And they got hardship relief. The company communicated with them and said, we understand your situation and we accept your situation and we are not going to bother you. Put in this letter that they're not going to bother them. And then this person felt it in their heart to wrap up money in this letter, and they sent it to me. I think the reason why this whole thing came to my mind about 1099-C hardship consideration is that I believe in my heart that this is the right place, right time. There are some times that you do stuff and it was pulling at me. I came in to my office last week and I put some other stuff on hold that I was working on, and I said, I got to do this. Because I knew that if I could do this and get this on there, I can help as many people as possible. Because it's the right place, right time. At the beginning of the year, these companies are doing reporting. These companies are going to be making decisions. Do we sell the debt? Do we do a debt forgiveness? Who do they choose to do a debt forgiveness on? Like, some people got debt forgiveness in the past and they were like, they never knew that they were going to get it. It was like the company said, do a few, like they doing a drawing. Do these people, and these people sell to a debt collector, or these people sue them. Why are they making those decisions like that? I don't know why. But I know that if I was in that situation, what I would control was me presenting my side of what I'm going through. And maybe I could get put into that pile that has the 1099-C debt forgiveness that is sent to the IRS. And when I move forward with presenting that, I put all my energy into that. Like I was putting all of my energy to walk up my driveway and not thinking about doubting of, oh, I can't make it. Oh, even though that could be like life-threatening. But I can tell you that some of the people who write to me feel that the way that they're being, the weight that is on them about their debt, that is on them about what they are going through, is like life-threatening to them. So what I want you to do, because I've spent the time to put it together for you, and I know I can't help everybody, not because I don't want to help everybody, it's because 100 to 200 people per day say that they're struggling financially and that they cannot make it, and that their debts are charged off and they don't know what to do. They can't move forward in their life. And so I say back to them, do you really want to move forward in your life? Do you want to overcome this? Can you see yourself in the future having a good life, controlling your debt, like it's like you just had a fresh start? Like you just had a fresh start, like you're able to move forward in your life. You're able to utilize your credit again. You're able to get credit cards, and you know now you got to use it the right way. You're able to get a house. You're able to get the car that you want at a payment that you can afford, not where you are being taken advantage of by lenders because you have bad credit, because you have collections all over your credit. Is that the life that you want to move forward towards? And if that is, then you have to put all your energy into that and stop doubting. Your doubts is what make things not work for you, because your doubts talk to you. Your doubts will say things to you so you can justify quitting. This person in this letter right here, with all of the fears that they had, with all of the fears that they had in their mind, they took a step forward and they did what I told them to do. And look at the good that happened to them. And if you are thinking in your mind right now, well, that happened to them and no good stuff happens to me, that's the doubt talking to you. That's the doubt talking to you. Don't let your doubts talk you out of the good that can happen to you. Your doubts are going to be there, but you need to move forward with all of your energy. And because you haven't been there yet, and you haven't experienced it yet, it's not going to be comfortable. But instead of focusing on it not being comfortable, focus on what you got to do to keep moving forward. Take a step. Take another step, take another step, and take another step. And when you look back, look at all of those steps that you took. But if you quit, if you doubt, how many steps will you take? If you take one step and you doubt and you quit, how many steps did you take? With the law of averages, with the way that everything works in this world, how can you not be in a better place if you take tiny step, tiny step, tiny step, tiny step, tiny step over a period of time? How can you not be in a better place? If you're still here watching this video, I would like to thank you. All right, so I put together a program that will show you step by step what you need to do if your debt has been charged off and you're just struggling flat out financially. You cannot make it, and you also potentially have a medical hardship, which will make this even work better for you. I show you everything that you need to do to be able to get a 1099-C hardship consideration presented to your creditors or debt collectors. The link is below this video. I show you examples of people with substantial amounts of debt that this has worked for. If you want to have us do it for you, we charge you a certain amount. You would have to line up all of your debt. But because I know people are struggling, because we don't even take, if you say to us, I can't even buy groceries, we won't even do that for you. We will not do that for you because I don't want to take any money from people who say that they can't even pay their rent and their groceries. But I have made a program available where you could just pay a small amount of money for that information and utilize it for all of your debt, not just for one debt, for all of them. So if you got 20 debts, you get this, get yourself trained on how to do it the right way, how to find the departments for the companies, how to present it to them, the exact words that you need to say, how to say it. Everything is put together for you. You just got to insert your own personal information into there. And then you let the good come in that's going to happen for you. And probably you'll send me a letter, probably 4, 5, 6 page letters like this person did. And if I didn't yet, I thank you for this letter because it validates what I do on a daily basis for people. All right, the link is below this video if you are interested in learning more about how to file a financial hardship consideration letter to your creditors who have charged off your debt. And the goal of it is to get them to file a 1099-C. Other options could be where they give you a generous settlement opportunity. Either one, you'll be in a better place. If you need help with your credit, please visit us at thecreditrepairshop.com. Watch the video, What Makes Us Different, so you can see my 8-point validation process to help people repair their credit and increase their scores. If you need your credit reports and scores, go to the website the number three, scores.com to grab your TransUnion, Equifax, Experian credit reports and all 3 scores. If you have debt collectors coming after you early in the game, and this could also work with those debt collectors because they do have an obligation to hear your hardship. Grab my 3-pack of letters: statute of limitations, cease and desist collection activities letter, and debt validation. I give you the instructions on those. And I do ask for a donation on those, but you don't have to. But those 3 letters can literally save you time, money, and frustration. Seriously. Thank you for your time. This is Stephen A. Williams, president and founder of thecreditrepairshop.com. Please post your questions and comments. I will be in there answering those. If I missed your question, I go back and try to find the ones that I missed. Sometimes YouTube sticks them in the wrong area as spam, but I will go back in there and I will answer as many as possible. Please subscribe to the channel. Please like this video. Thank you for your time.